All right, so I'm here to talk to you guys today about that needs to be fixed, about the Wikipedia signpost. The Wikipedia signpost is a community-led and community-organized newspaper organized on Wikipedia. We publish every week, and we've been publishing every week with very rare exceptions since January 2005. So we have a very comprehensive coverage of the Wikimedia movement, and because we're an independent publication, we're oftentimes not afraid to publish critical commentary of actions in the foundation or in the community that you generally won't see published anywhere else. So I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about the Wikipedia signpost, but mostly I want to tell you guys about how you too can contribute to this publication. So if you're, let's jump back a bit. So if you're just reading the signpost, for instance, let's do news and notes. All right, and so you're just reading this, right? And so you become sort of interested because these are very extensive articles. They're done every week on the topics that are important in the organization right now. For instance, this is the article that's currently running. This is talking about two big happenings this week, which are SUL finalization and changes in the Wikimedia Foundation Executive Office. SUL finalization is called, it's a single user login. It's a technical initiative that's been in the works since 2008. And the Executive Office story is about the fact that Wikimedia Foundation's CTCO recently left and that a Wikimedia Foundation Chief Operating Office was recently hired. Right, and that's there. And so let's say you're reading this and you say that, wow, this is a great publication. I sure think so. And you wonder, well, how can I contribute? Well, what you can do is there's comments on the bottom. What you can do is you can go to the newsroom in this link here, and the newsroom is our central hub. This is where we coordinate everything that we do. And every issue, every week, so there's the submission deadline, there's our weekly schedule, and then there is this. This is the most important part, I think. Because this is where we discuss special features that are submitted to us, not by regular editors, but by anyone in the community, any member of the community that wants to write something in the signpost, whether it be an opinion editorial, a special report, they want to write a book review, or they want to write, I don't know, something about some feature process or anything. We generally accept all inquiries, and we do it through this submission stream. So we generally divide most submissions into one of two categories. We do op-eds and we do special reports. And there's nothing really cohesive about it. The only difference between the two is that in an opinion editorial, you're allowed to have your opinion. The whole point is that you're expressing an opinion about a thing and you're making an argument, you're making a point, you're making a statement. And special reports are a little more balanced. They're meant to be more like, we're informing the community about this particular initiative or this particular interesting thing that's happening. And let me tell you about this whole thing. And so the only real difference between the two of them is, how much opinion are you allowed to insert into the publication. So you're interested in contributing to the signpost, and you're interested in contributing like one of these irregular features. You want to write about something that interests you, and then you want to bring it to the wider community. Well, the signpost is the best way to do that because we're an independent publication. We're read by basically everyone in the Wikimedia Foundation. We're read by thousands of most regular articles, most regular editors, and we get between 2,500 and 3,500 page views per section per week. So how would you go about submitting an article as a signpost? Let's say, for example, that you decide that you want to write an op-ed. Well, you go here to the opinion desk, and the opinion desk outlines for you everything that you need to know about it. So there's, how do we go about publishing op-eds? There's ideas for things that you can write about. There's our guidelines. How do we decide what we publish? How do we decide we don't publish, so on and so forth. And then you can just hit this button here. And this gives you instructions of what you need to do to submit. So you just copy this wiki code, and then you write up your submission. You're like, oh, I want to write about X, or I want to write about Y. Right? You save the page. And your proposals are listed here, right? And so here you see someone is proposing, they want to write about value of digitalizing analog personal photography, which is their father had a very extensive collection of digital photographs, and they want to write about their experiences digitalizing them and uploading them for public use and across the project on Commons. I had to finish though at this point. All right, and so here there's the editors discuss it. The editors discuss it. One sentence. The editors discuss it, the proposal is accepted, the submission is written. Once the submission is written, we schedule it, we handle copy editing, we handle everything that leads up to the publication, and then that's how you too can get published in the signpost. Yeah, sorry. A bit
All right. Just
crushed on time.
Just to clarify for a second, when David gives you the signal to wrap up, the signal to end, just wrap up. Don't react to it. Just wrap up. That's all.
But David, give him a warning. Okay, Abhishek.
I'm sorry. All right, ready? Abhishek is up next with Nationality Wikipedia. Here, you want a personal mic?
5 minutes, right?
5 minutes. Bob has the clock. As soon as he resets it.
Oh, okay, that's nice. Okay, I won't be needing 5 minutes, hardly 2-3 minutes at max. Still, let's set up the clock. Done? Okay, so the topic is like we are divided by borders, we are divided by language, but the one thing that connects us is the first thing is curiosity and the second is knowledge. We want to learn from each other, we want to learn different cultures. So we live in a world that fortunately technology enables us to use the online translators. The new communication media is there. So yeah, in future that nationality can be a Wikipedian. Like what you do is like Wikipedia is a powerful tool which keeps everybody at the same platform. Whether you are a 9-year-old or you are a 50-year-old with a PhD, if you have a reference and citation, whatever you write goes on the public, on the Wikipedia. If it's not there with the references, of course the citation note will be there, citation needed note will be there. So yeah, so I believe that in upcoming years, it might be a nice idea to get just as an identity as a Wikipedian, like nationality Wikipedian. So that's just a basic idea. So that was just my topic, and still I have almost 3 minutes. So any question, any suggestions on this? Yes? Yes, we can have that. Barnstar maybe, like you visit some other Wikipedia, like Wikimedia New York event you attend, and Wikimedia New York chapter gives you something in return. So which you can show like a Barnstar you attended this meetup. Yep, that's also a nice idea. Okay. Okay. Can I donate my 2 minutes to someone else?
No, but thank you. Yes, you can. I'm not going to continue to start the time, so go ahead. Next, while she's setting up, we have Bill Lyle doing something of my favorite, which is the site toolbar, which is a nice thing to have when it doesn't break.
All right. Uh-oh. Okay. Oops. Okay. Does that work?
Mine is open.
Okay. Is it working? Okay. Never done one of these, so bear with me. I put this up on the meetup page, so you can download it and read it later if it's easier. I'm obsessed with citations. I think they're really important. I graduated from library school. So there's something that I think this might be actually a more helpful tool for more experienced editors, because it's not automatically updated on your preferences. You'll have to manually adjust it. For new editors, they'll have this tool. It's called the Ref Toolbar, and what it does is it adds a Cite button on your toolbar. These are some links, and this is what it looks like up there. And basically, it's 4 templates that you can fill in, and it automates the process. It's so simple, and it's amazing. Okay. I'll actually show you these things, maybe, if I have enough time. I don't know if it's helpful, because there's only 5 minutes, but...
7 minutes.
Oh, 7 minutes? Okay. So, I'm so stressed out here.
Great slide.
Let's see here. Okay, so the Ref Toolbar. Should I edit something?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'm not logged in, though. Vandalize. Okay, all right. I don't know how to use this. All right. So sorry. Let's see here. I'll just log in as myself. Okay. No. I'm sorry, I'm not more organized. Okay. I'll edit our page. Okay. So, and I'll just grab a New York Times, I guess. Ugh. Paywall. Okay. Okay. So, 2 minutes. Okay, I'm going to add a fake citation. Basically, it's right here. It's up on the upper right corner, and when you click on it, it adds the toolbar, just shows it. If you're an experienced editor and you need to turn it on, let me just really quickly show you where to go. Okay, sorry. You go to Preferences, and in the Gadgets, you go to the Editing section, and it's the last option right there. You just want to make sure that's clicked. So if you're an experienced editor, that's probably not going to be selected. Okay, so these are the 4 templates. I'm going to use a news template. I'll click where I want to add the citation. There's actually a really great video that shows how to do this as well. So I'm just going to grab the information. Oops, Control C, paste. Having problems with the computer side of this. Okay, how fast can I do a citation? Oh God. Okay, anyway, so I'm just putting in the URL. I use the same date format that it defaults to because it's just faster and I'm lazy. And then I do a wiki link for the actual source, and I use work, not publisher. And then really important is if you can use a naming convention and name your citation so it can be used multiple times. And then here we go, screen, come on. Okay, and then I'm gonna insert it. Uh-oh. Okay, and then I do a wiki link for the legitimate citation source. That's it? Okay. All right, so here, I'll just save that and you can see that oh, and always add an edit summary. Okay. But it's really fast, and the named references will be listed here. If you click on this button, it'll use the name that I just associated with that citation. So, save. Okay.
So where is the show?
Oh, it's I'm so sorry. All right, it's right here. In the bottom, to your right. Oh, and it'll be in the bottom if there's a ref area. All right. Okay.
Hi, my name is Tony, user King of Hearts. So today I'm going to talk about freedom of panorama. Do I need to turn on the mic? Okay. So, as has been mentioned many times in this and today, like you can't just take a picture on the internet and put it on Wikipedia. You have to be able to put it under a free license. So what that means is either it's a really old image and it's already in the public domain, or you have to take it yourself and then agree to release it under a free license, such as the Creative Commons license. And so, let's say I were to, for example, take. So let's say I were to just take this book and take a picture of this book. Would I be able to put it on Wikipedia under a free license? The answer is no, because like even though I took the picture, there is still copyright in this book cover. And so the picture I took would be called a derivative work, because the creative content in my picture is derived from the book cover. And so, as you go around the streets of New York City and take pictures of things, well, what about the copyrights of all the architects who designed the buildings? Wouldn't your picture be considered a derivative of those? No. Well, the answer is it depends on the locale that you're in. So in the US, before 1990, in general, buildings did not have a copyright. After 1990, the copyright law was amended to give buildings copyright. And in most countries, buildings do have a copyright. However, in many countries, there's an exception, which is that you can take a picture of a building and not have it be subject to that building's copyright. And that is known as freedom of panorama. It comes from the German word. It originated in German law and was known as Panoramafreiheit. And it has since been literally translated into English as freedom of panorama. And so, this is the Wikimedia Commons page for freedom of panorama. And it shows the standard practices that we use on Commons to determine the status of an image. So, as you can see on this map here, some countries such as the UK or Germany or the US allow freedom of panorama, and some countries do not, like France and Italy. So, for example, if you took a picture of a modern skyscraper in Paris, you would not be able to upload it to Wikimedia Commons under a free license, because it's still subject to the copyright of the artist. Yeah. So, there are obviously exceptions even in those red countries. There is another principle called de minimis. So in this picture you see on the right, notice, so this is an airplane cabin, and in this airplane cabin there's a bunch of little TV screens, right? So normally, like, it would be considered a derivative work of the content on those TV screens, because you can see them clearly in the picture. However, the main purpose of the image is to capture the entire airplane cabin.
And so the TV screens are considered just a circumstantial part of the work that's incidentally included. So as it applies to freedom of panorama, an example would be if you took a picture of the entire Paris skyline, then each individual building is just incidental to the whole scene. And so it wouldn't be considered a violation of copyright to have a picture of that on Commons. Yeah.
Next we have RefLinks 2.0 with Dispenser.
All right, so I'm User Dispenser. Many of you actually have used my software, mainly RefLinks. I haven't really been maintaining it for several years, mostly because I've been focusing on the second version. The next version we will be doing offline referencing. We'll be downloading basically 24 terabytes of data that's required to get all the references on English Wikipedia, downloading them, crunching them for the author and date fields and other metadata, storing an archive copy for future references, and putting it out into a little ref toolbar like uses to make you all happy. And then finally to crunch that data even further and actually reference every fact in Wikipedia with their reference. So we'll be able to have a mapping of a fact with the citation. And that will actually be something very interesting for machine AI as we approach it. Thank you. Yeah, that's it. What else? So do you want? Oh yeah, I need Bitcoins to buy hard drives.
If you have questions, we have time to fill in, obviously, if anyone has questions.
Any questions?
What's your user page?
User Dispenser. You like this? You like this thing? This retro thing?
How many hard drives do you have so far? There you go.
I only have 3 hard drives at the moment. I need more. So right now we can just about fit just the textual data. A few more hard drives will get the CSS and JavaScript, so you actually see the things kind of as they were intended, and about triple the number of those hard drives, and we'll be able to cache the images.
Do you explain this project on your page there?
It's been broiling in my head. I'm not a writer, so I don't write things down.
Is part of the offline Wikipedia initiative?
No, it's not a part of the offline Wikipedia initiative. I have written a foundation grant for this, but the foundation has rejected me and has banned me from the labs.
What other tools?
I have the checklinks tool, which is similar in vein, and I also did the DAB solver tool, which some of you might have seen a bot coming to your user page telling you you've added a disambiguation link and then giving you a nice little link that you can click on where you can fill out the thing and just save it. So, any other questions?
Why would Wikipedia not like your idea? It seems sort of slow.
I'm not really too sure on that. I'm guessing they just don't like me.
What's your most favorite stuff? What's the favorite stuff on Wikipedia?
Right now, I like doing video game stuff. There's actually quite an interesting thing if you're, because they have a video game library showing you, basically it's backwards from how we do most of the stuff on Wikipedia. So in the video game library, they have the citations first, and then you can write the articles from that.
That it? All right, next we have MJ Bailey and Salubrious talks to you in WikiMed.
Yeah, so, let's see, is this one working?
Yes.
Okay. Oops. Thanks. Woohoo. So we have a short slideshow. We're both medical students over at Mount Sinai, and we've started a student group that has been editing Wikipedia and started a class that's edited Wikipedia. So hopefully these are general principles you guys can take to your organizations in a similar vein. So first, why is this important? That's how we start off every single meeting. Try to convince the students that editing Wikipedia is a worthwhile endeavor. and the numbers speak for themselves. I think medical students at least pay attention to evidence, hopefully, and so presenting the evidence is key. So this is us, like the 5P med students who've been editing Wikipedia and started this group. And basically the way we worked is we went through the Wikipedia Education Board, and Lane Raspberry actually reached out to us in the back, and he helped us get started. So first we had student group meetings every month and editathons every month. And we had a faculty mentor at Mount Sinai, and we organized, so we organized online, motivated students, had editathons, and measured progress. Specifically, for organizing online, we have the course talk page, which Lane helped us set up. It's very useful for having groups of students and tracking how everyone's editing. And then we also have our own student group website. And for motivating students, this is the general format. I guess the main citations that we use, like patients and peers read and edit Wikipedia, that's super key. And that using medicine in another language is also pretty useful for anyone who's going to be a doctor. And so we've had a few editathons since last May. It's been super fun. So they're all themed. So we focus on different topics, microbiology, summer research, random, and then emergency medicine, and a few other Wikipedians here attended that, which was awesome. So that was the first public one. And then we use Wikimetrics to actually track progress and track editor retention. So we've had 31 participants. Numbers are here, 5 to 15 people attend each editathon. Overall, we've had almost 900 edits throughout the last 7 months. And we've created a lot of pages. And so,
I have a microphone. Okay, so you probably want to hear about the course that we actually made. It started January 2015, ended March 2015. We wanted to run 5 sessions, but a terrible blizzard happened, or didn't happen, that prevented us from holding 1 session. We got the idea from UCSF, which started holding a Wiki Project Medicine course in 2013, so we just did the same thing here at Mount Sinai. The idea was we got 14 student editors to edit a total of, I think right now it's at 36 articles, and we've just about hit 1 million article views, which was really exciting and a great morale booster for our medical students who are afraid that they're not reaching the general population.
This is actually something really cool. The new Wiki Project, or the Wikipedia Education, all the course pages have this really cool dashboard where you can aggregate how many articles everyone has edited, the total number of edits, the number of characters added, etc. So super cool, yeah.
And then we started working with physicians. We reached out broadly and through the Mount Sinai hospital system, and emergency medicine physicians were the first to respond, as they're the first to see patients, and they're just really fun to work with, fun people. Yeah. And we had a emergency medicine attending as well as a resident physician to come help us out. And our soon goal is to expand to other medical schools in the New York City metropolitan area. There are 20 million residents in the New York City area, 9,000 medical students, and 15 medical schools we want to begin reaching out to. And 5 of the medical schools are in the, quote, US News top 20.
20 million residents?
Of the New York City metropolitan area.
Not medical, yeah.
Sorry, not living residents, not resident physicians.
All right. Almost.
And yeah, thanks to you all for talking. I think I have like 20 seconds left. And thanks Lane Raspberry for helping out a bunch.
No, you get bonus time.
Bonus time. Oh, 5 more minutes. Wow. Okay, so great. Okay, so again, the dashboard is something we've been really proud of. If you want to check out our website through Mount Sinai, that would be great. And drop either of us a line on our Wiki Talk pages. And I think we can open the rest of the time for questions if you want to do that.
Questions? You mentioned 1 million hits on what exactly?
So what we did was we totaled the number of articles that students edit and totaled the number of hits, but by the time they started the course and by the time they finished it, and used that to say how many people they, quote unquote, reached out to during the period of the course.
So that's like this Wiki, the new course page. If you guys are at all involved with any educational process, you can create a course, and then you can track like the impact your students have, which is, again, these numbers.
Another question?
Okay, I'm not a medical student nor doctor, but I've been to doctor. Aren't medical students, I think, are famously overworked?
Yeah, medical students are famously overworked.
But that said, it's amazing, that's astonishing that you've gotten medical students to make these edits.
So when medical students
how do you achieve that, and to what do you attribute that?
Okay, well, medical students are overworked, and a lot of time they're studying, a lot of time they're learning stuff, and 90% of the time they have Wikipedia open on one of the tabs. So we have our medical prep books, we have our medical textbooks, and then if you want to learn something general, you're not really sure what a term is, it's a lot easier to Wikipedia it than to look through the old textbook to figure out what the term is. It'll give you a broad overview, not as accurate or as in-depth, but it'll get you started.
Those are edits, right?
Those are edits, and it's not that hard to tell them, listen, you're on it, how many of you have seen something wrong? And then almost everyone will say, yeah, I have. And then we'll tell them, how hard do you think it is to fix it? And then we tell them it's not that hard. They can do this. And they have all the resources. They have all the medical textbooks. They have the professors. They have the access to medical journals. So
120 edits and only 14, and you got a million. Okay, fine.
Okay, so we have 120 edits on each of the pages. Most med students are very, very deliberate. So they'll do one edit that takes them 3 hours and adds 1,000 characters. But that's what they're trying to do. I think this is a little old too. The new one's better.
Cool. Is this a separate website or is this on Wikipedia?
This bottom dashboard is on Wikipedia on any of the new courses that rolled out this spring semester. The top one is our student group webpage that we use.
Yeah, the top one's through the Mount Sinai Medical Center.
Yeah. But the bottom one, yeah, it's pretty key.
Is Hammerberger in your group?
No, we actually didn't reach out to him. He is probably more busy than most of the med students there. But that is a great idea. We can ask, yeah.
Right. That's a good call.
Any more questions?
For people who don't know, Hammerbacher is a recently recruited professor at Mount Sinai from Facebook who does a lot of big data analysis. He has a bunch of patient data through Mount Sinai, and he's able to parse through it to figure out which genes, which things are correlated to which diseases.
Sweet. Thank you for listening, everybody.
Next we have user Anarchy Sheik doing ref desk.
Need the mic here. Yes.
Okay, I'm Sarah, user Anarchy Shake, and I'm a library school student, and I know a lot of you are librarians or work very closely with librarians, and as such, being in school, I'm learning about what it means to be a librarian, and right now I'm learning about the reference librarian and the reference desk and what that means in terms of library information sharing. I'm also interested in Wikipedia, and so I came across this project of the Wikipedia library, Wikipedia Reference Desk, which, as you can see, describes itself as working like a library reference desk. And so I wanted to sort of dig into that to see how much of that is actually true in terms of how it actually reflects the way that reference librarians work. So as a comparison, I won't go to this too much. You can see the RUSA guidelines for reference interaction. RUSA is the Reference and User Services Association, a division of the American Library Association. And so through reviewing these guidelines and then sort of reviewing what the Wikipedia Reference Desk says and does and what its scope is, I've highlighted 3 sort of areas where there's a lot of diversion between these 2 things. The first would be the scope and goal. The Wikipedia Reference Desk is not a source for you to learn how to use Wikipedia. It's explicitly for asking questions that you can't find an answer on Wikipedia or via Google, whereas that is one of the goals of a reference librarian, is to teach users how to find things, how to use the sources. Second is privacy. When you approach a reference librarian, whether in person or online, there's privacy and an understanding that your questions are confidential and will not be shared around. And just by the nature of the way Wikipedia works, that is not possible with Wikipedia. And as such, you cannot ask questions, specific law or medicine-related questions at the ref desk. But I think that both of those things play into a upturning of the power dynamic between the reference librarian and the user, which in the traditional library setting is necessarily sort of one of someone who is the expert and someone who's approaching for information, which can be really intimidating. And even though the RUSA guidelines really try to set up a framework for collaboration between the librarian and the user, there's necessarily sort of, you're approaching a desk, this person has a master's degree, you may not, and because Wikipedia at the reference desk, as in the rest of Wikipedia, is necessarily open and collaborative, there's not that kind of power dynamic where one person is the expert and you have to sort of approach them and maybe feel some sort of guilt or nervousness about trying to get your question answered. This is a subject I'm just beginning to really look into, and I think there's a lot of interesting questions that can be asked and answered about this program. And if you have anything you'd like to talk to me about or contribute to that discussion, I would love to hear about it.
Any other questions or contributions?
Okay, I'll be here. Thanks.
Next is David Thompson doing the Guild of Copy Editors.
My name is David Thompson, D. Thompson 8 on Wikipedia, and I'm a member of the Guild of Copy Editors. If you type in WP:GOCE, you'll go to our page. And I'm going to try that right here, but I don't know if I'll succeed, because this is Macintosh, and some of us are Windows people. And some of us are mouse people too.
Maybe you want some assistance. Who wants to help?
Hey, Dib.
WP:GOCE.
I know the guild quite well.
Here's the page for the Guild of Copy Editors. And if I scroll down just a little bit, you'll see the kinds of things we do. And in addition to that, you see at the top, it says how to copy edit and all those kinds of things. The main thing I wanted to mention was drives, because every month, every other month, March being one of them, we do a drive and competitively try to copy edit as many articles as we can. So we're interested in numbers, but we're also interested in requested articles too. But here comes the drive. Wrong. Here we go. Here's the drive. You see on the right a whole list of months and how many articles are marked copy edit for that month. we've got 265, but altogether we've got 2,445 requests for copy edit. And we need help. And what I'm hoping is you people out there will give some thought to this. If you're good at English and like to fix up somebody else's writing, this is the perfect place. And some of them are easy and short articles, but some of them are long and complex. I did one on the battleship, don't think of it, French battleship in the Second World War. That was tough. Another thing that's tough, my friends from India may realize this. Subjects about India. Some people who do articles in India are great, but some of them are barely literate, and it takes a lot of work for us to fix up articles on villages in India. So, any questions?
Any questions, guys?
What's a blitz? Oh. Mine's easy. Do you guys ever meet in person, or it's mostly on the net you meet? Do you guys ever meet in person, or it's mostly you just meet through the website?
We work online. We've got 3 people that are coordinators, and the rest of us just do it. Thank you very much. We just do things online. We're scattered all over, but we have a good time competitively and learn a lot by looking at such a variety of articles. And I think I have to say I'm done. My minute's up.
Can you show us the jacket? You got that cool jacket? What the hell was the jacket?
I have a jacket done in Philadelphia. Anybody that makes embroidered things can do it. And I have my hat over there. I'm sorry I didn't bring it.
Let's see the back. Let's see the back.
Oh! And so I get to talk to a lot of people.
All right, next week we have Tom Lowenhout doing one of my favorite projects, the .NYC neighborhood project.
Thank you, and I'm off to Philadelphia.
Need help? You think you got it?
What's that? I know. I can also ly backslash. Let's see if this works. All right. So what this is Google Docs did this for me. I was very happy to see that happen. So what I'm talking about today is, before I start, how many people in here live in a New York City neighborhood? Half, I'd say. Okay. Well, this is addressed primarily to you. And on Wikipedia, I'm Tom L, ZZ1. And what I'm talking about is a top-level domain, not .com, not .net, not .org, not .edu, not any of the others, but .nyc. So last year, the city got the rights to develop .nyc. 72,000 domain names have been issued so far, but not the neighborhood names. So we have a project called .neighborhoods. So the 385 names have been reserved. Morningside Heights, Jackson Heights, Harlem, whatever your neighborhood name is, chances are we have 385 of them reserved. And what do you do with those 385 names? Who gets them for what purpose is the question. There are 2 big questions associated with that. Well, I don't know which is harder, but the governance is the one that we're kind of stumbling over now, because I was part of the group that set up the standard for who gets what name, and we said that we'll give it to a group that represents everybody in the neighborhood. So if you represent the homeowners, the voters, the children, the old people, the churchgoers, the this, that, and the other, then you can get the name. The problem is trying to find a group that represents all those people. It's somewhat impossible. So we've taken another approach at this point, and that is to try and do it under contract. That we'll try and give them to a group that says, we'll represent jacksonheights.nyc, and we'll follow rule ABCD. If we don't, you'll take the name back from us. So we're going to try that for the moment. And the idea about the .neighborhoods, the current rules are on neighborhoods.nyc. Those are the rules that have proven rather difficult to follow. And the technology that I'd like to see used on these is wiki technology, so that each neighborhood would be, all the residents in Jackson Heights, we have, for example, in Jackson Heights we have 106,000 residents. And we have hundreds, maybe thousands of businesses and churches, and it's a big place. So how do we get people involved with this? There's no money for this anywhere, and so we thought that we would look to Davis, California, where they have the daviswiki.org, and they've had it for a number of years. And by comparison, Davis is a college town with 60,000 students. A quarter of them leave every year, and they leave behind this repository of great information about Davis. And Jackson Heights, we're a neighborhood of 106,000, multi-ethnic neighborhood, and we have no information about us. We have a spattering of media here, there, and everywhere that talks about Jackson Heights, but we have no central place, as none of you do who live in this New York City neighborhood. Now you can. So what we want to do is we want to see if the Davis Wiki can move from a small town to a big city. And this is what the Davis Wiki looks like. And it's based upon something called, the software they use is called localwiki.org. And it was the students or faculty, whatever, from Davis who made this stuff called LocalWiki. And we would really like to try and use that in the city here. And what else? And the one problem that I saw with it is that my background on this is civic affairs and such, and there are always contentious issues about who does what and how do you resolve issues and what do you do next and things like that. And what I found that the problem with wiki software, which Wikipedians know, is not quite as apparent, not as easy to get involved with discussions as it is in civic affairs, where you use mailing lists and things like this. So the missing link on the Davis Wiki was something that people could get involved with, and that's why I shied away from wikis for a while for the purpose of neighborhoods. And but then I got an email from the guy from the LocalWiki fellow, and he said, well, listen, we don't do the emails, we don't do them as simply as we do we don't do the type of discussion that you do on listservs and such, but you can go to one of our sites and see how they do it. And indeed, they have thoughtful discussions. So people go on there, maybe they have their listservs, but they end up having a thoughtful discussion, Wikipedia style, about an issue. And I think maybe we can do that in the city, and that's what I'll be talking about in one of these little rooms here, room D, at 4 o'clock, whenever that starts. Thank you very much.
Before all right, we are moving on to Megs, who's doing about exchange roles.
I think I'm probably fine with this one. Thank you, though. So, hi, everyone. My name is Megan Wacha, and I recently joined the City University of New York as the Scholarly Communications Librarian. So there are all sorts of things I would love to talk to you about in terms of Wikipedia, libraries, and the open access movement more broadly. However, today we are in the space of Barnard College, and so as an alum of this college, and up until recently, up until recently, I was also the research and instruction librarian for the performing arts here at Barnard. So I wanted to talk a little bit about how this community is engaging with Wikipedia. It is, so. Great. So kind of in taking a step back from the conversation about editathons and long-term engagement, we can kind of look at it as, instead of as the engagement of the individual, to the engagement of an institution. And so Wiki Project Barnard really started in service to Barnard's mission as a women's college. I will just read it for those of you who perhaps can't read it here, or for those of you tuning in. As a college for women, Barnard embraces its responsibility to address issues of gender in all of their complexity and urgency, and to help students achieve the personal strength that will enable them to meet the challenges they will encounter throughout their lives. And so we at the Barnard College Library really took this on in terms of our work with Wikipedia. So as you heard at the last Wikipedia Day back in 2013, we began our efforts through organizing Wiki Women's History Month Editathon, a collaboration with the Barnard Center for Research on Women on the first floor of this very building. And this was something that was scheduled before any of us had even learned how to edit, and which has led then to a series of editathons over the course of a few years, as well as engagement in the classroom. So you know, this past semester, we worked with a women in health class, so this was over 60 students editing medical articles, and particularly focusing on issues of gender. And then perhaps the collaboration that I am most proud of is that between myself, librarian Vani Natarajan, and Professor Kim Hall in the Africana Studies Department, in an advanced seminar focusing on the poet and playwright Ntozake Shange. And I should mention that she is also a Barnard alum. And so, you know, as a part of this course, there was the public space of the course page. But you'll notice that, that it is a little sparse. One of the things that was very important to us was honoring private conversations in private spaces while supporting public scholarship. So we really wanted to allow students to have a space, a safe space to talk about gender, to talk about race, and to talk about how their relationship with that really affected their authorship on Wikipedia. And so as a result, students wrote about Ntozake Shange, they wrote about her works, they wrote about her collaborators in the larger Black arts movement, you know, and they, I will just say, you know, they really engaged with Wikipedia as an information source and have begun their own relationships with it. So I just wanted to tell everyone about the wonderful things happening at Barnard College, and to say how happy we are to have all of you here today.
We have 50 seconds left. So now that you left Barnard, the Barnard Library, do you know whether your former colleagues are carrying on the work that you started?
Yes. So it's one of these great instances where, you know, you can start and be the first voice, and then other ones pick it up. And so, you know, my colleague Jenna Friedman and is still very interested in continuing this work, and you know, and we're having these conversations pretty consistently. Yeah.
Anyone else have questions? All right then.
Great.
Thank you very much. Next we have user rhododendroids, known better as WikiEDU, Brian. So he is talking about what's going on with WikiEDU.
Thank you. No, I'll stick here. Oh, that's a bummer. Okay. All right, so I'll just scroll through the slides. Doesn't want to switch normally. So yeah, I added as a volunteer as user rhododendrites, and I also work for the Wiki Education Foundation. And I just wanted to give a basic overview / update regarding the Wiki Education Foundation. And luckily with this crowd, I get to skip the why would you want to teach with Wikipedia part. We can go straight to the good stuff. So just briefly, the Wiki Education Foundation is a small nonprofit with roots in Wikimedia and the education program and the public policy initiative, all of these programs that have been established over the past 5-ish years to bridge Wikipedia and academia in various ways. So the idea is that if we can support instructors and students, then we can bring high quality content to Wikipedia, and we can also provide a valuable learning experience to the students. So to do that, we provide 3 kinds of support. So the first is through these, there are electronic as well as print teaching and learning materials, and we had the good fortune of building on some great stuff that people in the education program and elsewhere have constructed over the years. We've been updating them as well as producing some subject-specific guidelines. And so Lane, who just walked in, helped us with a editing medical articles brochure that every class that edits medical articles now gets a stack of these brochures so that they know about the details, the more stringent things like sourcing guidelines for medical articles. We also have staff support. So this is, like I said, it's a relatively new organization, relatively small, but it's growing. And so every class that's supported by WikiEd right now has a program manager, which right now is me, to help the instructors throughout the process from getting started to any technical issues that may come up, as well as with content experts to help students with the actual contributions. And so they can create, say, an article in a sandbox, say, hey, content experts, come take a look at it. They will do so, evaluate it, provide feedback, hopefully before the content even moves to the article space. We also have all of these new technical tools. We already saw the dashboard earlier, so this is a pretty new one. This is basically a way to monitor student activity, as well as to, and I think this is key, see if they've gone through the training. So you can barely see it there, but there's a red notice right below here saying this student has not completed the training. So there's a lot that this can do, and we're still developing this. But I really want to focus on the assignment design wizard, which to me is the most important tool available for Wikipedia and education. So you go through a series of steps as an instructor, and it generates a course page complete with timeline filled with information like this. And so it's customizable, but by default, it preloads a whole lot of links to materials and resources, brochures, Wikipedia policy pages, and incorporates exercises leading up to student contributions to get them used to using talk pages, for example. And I think that what is really important about this is that it makes it easier for professors, but maybe even more importantly, it also provides a way to implement best practices for assignment design. So by having every professor use this, we can be sure that, for example, training is mandatory for students. And we don't want classes going through where students just jump into the articles and start making edits. We found that it's difficult. So by requiring training, by having all of these best practices in place, we can help to improve the content that they're bringing to Wikipedia. And this is also the thing that, so this is in a constant state of development and always will be, based on feedback from all of you and our experiences. And so I would strongly recommend that anybody interested, not just in teaching with Wikipedia, but also in the impact that Wikipedia classes have on the project, take a look at these pages, see if you would change anything, add anything that you would have teachers do, any other details. And My time is about up. If you want to talk more about wiki education, I'm here.
Be talking to you later because I have a class tomorrow I'm doing another session with. Anyway, number 11, which is what?
Did you want to mention that you guys are going to be sponsoring the next Wikipedia Convention USA? I would love to.
It's on. Yes, Wiki Education is a co-sponsor of the Wiki Conference that will be taking place in DC, I believe we've settled on, in October. Yes, I unfortunately don't have any additional information. It sounds like there are people who do, but Wiki Ed will have a strong presence
At
there.
a fabulous location connected to the federal government.
All right, now we'll move on to number 11, which is one of my favorites considering I'm a Flickr geek, and that is Nafsa doing images of Flickr.
Hi. A bit nervous. I haven't been standing on a podium for a long while. Oh. So, go there. Okay. If you go to my page, you'd see a lot of images around there. And if you see those, most of those are just SVGs, maps and stuff like that, and only a few photos. I'm a sporadic editor. I do edit Wikipedias every now and then, but not do it a lot of time. But I have interest and I do care about a lot of articles, especially about Bangladesh, because I'm from Bangladesh and a lot of articles there could improve a lot. And one thing that really lacks and one place that I cannot really contribute is in images. And very interesting fact about that is that on Flickr there are a lot of good images, and there is a large community in Bangladesh and in other places who can take very good pictures. But the problem is they do not want to gain money from it or whatever, but the problem is the licensing. The people who do upload pictures on Flickr, they do not know about licensing, and the default license is fully copyrighted. So my question is, how do we educate them to contribute their images in a license that is compatible to Wikimedia Commons? I know a lot of people around here are really engaged in the communities. They have the capabilities to go to people and teach other people. So I would urge the community to get in touch with the Flickr community and educate them, teach them to contribute with images, at least upload their images with compatible licenses. And probably I have a couple of minutes, so bonus topic. Couple of months back, I tried to develop a couple of tools for editing Wikipedias related to Bangla. So one is about the transliteration and another one is IPA tool. So you can write anything in Bengali here. You can get the IPA here. It would give you transliterations. It's pretty simple tool. It just took 15 minutes for me, but a lot of people cannot make these things, but may need these things. So if anyone in other languages are in need of some tools, easy tools to make, just let me know in talk page. I'd be happy to make it for you. Thank you very much.
All right then, thank you very much. All right, number 13, we have to figure out, no one put the name on this, but giving assignments where Wikipedia has errors. We know whose that is because this is not marked as a name. Okay. Now we're going to move on to Samantha, I can't be sure I pronounced your last name correctly, Suni, with the, with finding primary source documents. As a historian, I want to hear this.
Okay. I guess Dan Aldridge.
Okay, hi. My name's Dan Eldridge. I just put myself on the list. Let's see, so customize it. Well, there's lots of customization you can do. It's overwhelming. My username is Commander Dan. It used to be the Mighty Hercules. But I had to change that because it sounds too stupid. And I recently came across some JavaScript magic stuff, and it's kind of amazing. So you can go to any page you want. Let's just pick, say, Barnard College. Bingo. And through some magic here, this More menu has been added, and I can click down to say, I don't know, Page Collector. Click that, and this little JavaScript magic added this page to this user page called Page Collector, which I happen to have shortcutted here in my menu bar, and it screwed it up, didn't it? Oh, great. Okay. Well, see, demos always go awry. Let's try that once more. Barnard College, projects and potential projects. Bingo. This one works. Bingo. This is very long. Hello. Well, you see it's not working so good. Projects, there we go. Boom. This is a very long page. At the end of it, it should be, Barnard College. So this added this, so the last article, the last reference on this page now is Barnard College, right? The link to Barnard. Let's pick a different page. Let's go back to the top, what the hell, and say, I don't know, Kalamazoo. Kalamazoo, Michigan. Bingo. Now through some magic that I'll show you in a second, this menu's been added, and I customize this at projects and potential projects. Click that. It's going to add a reference to this page to projects and potential projects. Boom. Kalamazoo. Now, what did that? I don't know, some JavaScript magic through this customized thing, which is, where is it, custom preferences. I mean, these gadgets, this is way too long. There's so many things here to do. Who the hell knows what this really is, right? Does anybody know what all these things are? See, nobody. Okay, no one knows this. Dispenser, do you know what all these things are? It's not humanly possible to know what these things are. It's just insane. But
I know that initially there were so many that they just decided to put in a bureaucratic process in to stop them from being added, and that bureaucratic process still remains preventing them from being added.
So this page changes all the time. God knows what all these things are, but some of them are, maybe all of them are pretty good. I don't know. I added some JavaScript magic. Dispenser, where is that again? I forget. You go here and JavaScript, right, or something like that. What is it? Dispenser, help me out here.
Was it your Commons.js?
Yeah, JavaScript JS?
Commons.js.
Crap. What is Commons?
Common. CMMOS.js.
Common.js?
Vector.js.
Vector.js, sorry.
Yeah, maybe under vector, since using the vector one.
Hit maybe.
There it is.
Oh, here we go. So this is adding some JavaScript to my vector skin, and I think I've got a longer one at a different page, I guess, under my own page. Isn't it like command F, JS? Yeah, common.js. I guess there's supposed to be stuff here. 1, 2, whoops, that's not it. So there's nothing here? I guess not. Okay, fine. So the point is, there's some amazing JavaScript tools I don't really know what the hell they're doing. But, I mean, I don't know how they're doing it, but it's magic. And talk to me or to Spencer or who else?
Is it documented anywhere or where?
Someplace, God knows where. I you know, it's like these hidden treasures, and but the ability.
How did you find out?
I think the Spencer found it. I was spending one night searching around, and this JavaScript stuff came up, and it's.
Something about it on your page.
Oh yeah, I should, but my user page is kind of non-existent. Yeah, it's not anywhere near as nice as yours is. So yours is really pretty. Mine just says I should add something here. Okay, I'm really late in that, but and I want to learn about this, and that, and then I added all the subpages I've been adding, which I've gone obviously a little crazy about recently since it's gotten out of hand. But it's a good place to shove ideas and stuff like that, right? And only once in a while do you get notes from somebody saying he can't use categories and on your user pages, which does drive me a little crazy. Yeah, so JavaScript magic, talk to me afterwards, talk to the Spencer, and if you find yourself doing the same thing over and over again by hand, copy, paste, you know, there's an easier way to do it. There's an easier way to do that that will save you many hours and make you not go insane. Thank you very much.
All right, number 16, we have FemTechNet with Veronica. They're gonna go together. Okay, as well as Marcia. This is gonna be definitely the last one because we're running late on time.
Yeah, that'd be great. Just, yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Hello, everybody. We're just going to our page real quick. So do you want to go to the page and then I'll start? Meet up. So we're here to talk about FemTechNet, which stands for Feminist Technology Network. And what we are is an activated network of scholars, activists, and artists, and librarians and archivists who, in fall 2013, started a project called the Distributed Open Collaborative Course. Now, this is a distant memory, but a lot of talk about higher ed was about the power of the MOOC at that time, the massive open online course, and how it was going to change the terrain completely. The doc was about how to keep people in nodal courses, keep retention, keep students in classes. As we later learned, the dropout rate for MOOCs was really high. So we designed a doc about feminism and technology called Dialogues in Feminism and Technology. Now, there's a lot of different layers. There's the network, a FemTechNet. There's the doc model, which is something that we've been working at, writing grants about, kind of innovating, and it's about feminist technocultural innovation. And then there's the class. Now, the doc can be used for any topic. We've just been focusing on feminism and technology, and that tends to scare people away a little bit. But we'll talk a little bit more about that and what we've been doing with it. But one of the key learning projects was wiki storming. We called it wiki storming, and we've kind of grown out of this name, but it was kind of an aggressive endeavor to edit Wikipedia, to go into Wikipedia and edit in women and feminist science and technology studies. So that's the setup, and I just wanted to say that this was started by Dean Ann Balsamo at the School of Media Studies at the New School. I'm from the New School, so is Marcia. I'm at the School of Media Studies, she's at Parsons. And also Alex Uhas at Pitzer College in California. So it's been 17 institutions, the first iteration, across the country, across North America, some Canadian nodes as well. And yeah, one of the key learning projects was wiki storming, which we'll talk about now. Also, Adrian Wadowitz. That's all, very important.
Yeah, so given the structure of FemTechNet, a lot of our engagement has been through mostly classroom settings with a lot of media studies students who are already really engaged critically with various artifacts of media, and one artifact that we're really interested in is Wikipedia. And so this kind of gives us a natural environment to place as much importance on the know-how of editing, on also the critical engagement and dialogue and discussion behind a lot of what we see of underrepresentation and a lack of diverse engagement with editing Wikipedia. So what we're really interested in the FemTechNet Wikipedia committee is sustaining engagement in a really critical way, as well as being intersectional to other social justice issues, not only feminism, but a lot of like Black Lives Matter editathons and other social engagement that seeks to critically address where Wikipedia is really lacking in this area of representation.
And yet, to that point, just the way that we kind of interpret feminism is very scholarly, so it's intersectional and it encapsulates all these different vectors of diversity and oppression. So that's just our interpretation of feminism, which tends to be a little more open to that. But just to give an update about what's been happening since fall 2013, of which we had 17 classrooms that were focusing on editing Wikipedia. And without the help of Adrienne Wadowitz and Jacqueline Wernemont, we wouldn't have been able to do any of this. Just to go to our meetup page, there's resources that shows all the stuff that we've been working on since that time, which have included videos on how to edit Wikipedia. Let's see, where is that? Here's our Fox News story when Fox covered us, which I was talking about how the reaction to feminism. Colleges offer credit to inject feminism into Wikipedia. And what would that look like? What do feminists have to say about technology? And they've got a woman to do it at least, right? They had to do that. So that was from the Campus Reporter. And we also, we've had, I did that. We need that page back up. We have video dialogues about the topic of Wikistorming between Adrienne Wadowitz before she passed away in April 2013, and that was actually funded by students. So there's a lot of hierarchies that are kind of collapsed in our network, and we're aware and cognizant of those kinds of hierarchies that exist. We've also been really indebted to education program, and that's how I met Richard, and been kind of into the Wikipedian circles. And since then, one of the problems that we run into is that people don't have the time to sustain a whole semester-long engagement with Wikipedia, which can be frustrating. So what I find myself doing is these workshop/editathons, which are kind of hybrid seminar workshop things. We did one at USC on the topic of new media for social change, which is about women media makers in specifically in transmedia. We did one in Concordia about the class was queer culture and creativity, sexuality and public discourse, which will be like one-day workshops where students come in with the topics that they're going to be working on, and then we collectively work with them. And we've run out of time, but we just want to start with something you can go to.
Yeah, so just really quickly, I want to leave this up here. We'll be having a panel discussion talking a little bit more deeply about critical engagement and feminist encounters with Wikipedia and all the various intersectionality that encompasses as well. So that's going to be April 1st at 7 p.m. at Woman Hall, which is a hall at the New School. So yeah, if you want to come, it's open.
And join our committee, our FemTechNet Wikipedia committee.
Yeah, look at our meetup page.
Thank you.
For lightning talks, we do have our next set of open space here